welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform. We are here to connect you with the biggest experts so you are empowered with the correct information. Today we're doing a very special conversation with Dell-EMC. Let me introduce my guest tonight. We have Saravanan. He's a Senior VP and General Manager of Dell-EMC. He's also the co-chair of the NASSCOM GIC Council. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. It's always interesting. It's a pleasure to speak with someone so closely involved with technology.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here on the show with you.
Let me start by talking to you about your own personal journey, because I was quite interested to read about, what your own career graph has been before we talk about the big picture in terms of technology.
I grew up in a small village in Tanjore, went to village school, college in the rural area. Interestingly, at that time, the computer science was introduced in one of the rural colleges in that vicinity. And without knowing what computer science was, somebody said, it's new, it'll be good for our future, go join. So I just joined. And I was the first batch. And as I came out of the college, given the rural college it is, you know how the instruction is. And I didn't even speak a sentence of English well at that time. But the first job was really a lecturer in computer science in Coimbatore. From rural area of Tanjore to Coimbatore, it was a big shift for me. All right, let me talk about Dell-EMC. It is basically the enterprise arm or the enterprise side of the business as far as Dell is concerned. Talk to us a little bit about the kind of businesses that you typically work with, and where do small businesses really fit in then with the overall plan? Good. Dell Technologies, as we know now, is a merger of two large companies, Dell and EMC. And it has a family of businesses. Dell Technologies, think of it as a holding company. And the traditional Dell PC business or laptop business continues to be called as Dell. And the enterprise part of Dell, erstwhile Dell, merged with EMC, is now called Dell-EMC. And then we do have other brands in our portfolio as part of what we call strategically aligned businesses, VMware, RSA, the security business, SecureWorks. So those are the group of businesses that we have as part of Dell Technologies. Okay. While Dell-EMC is focused on the large enterprises, but Dell always cuts across every segment of the customers, including small and medium businesses. Our laptops and PCs are very popular for small and medium businesses. We do have more software support services kind of functions added to our offering to small and medium businesses to make them more effective and make it easier for them to use technology to run their business.
Okay. The reason I'm asking you that question, of course, is that on the Leaders of Tomorrow, which is India's only daily MSME show on television, we have small businesses, entrepreneurs, and a huge percentage really of the 36 million MSMEs in the country, which tell us we don't even understand technology. So my question to you really is, how different are small businesses when they relate to technology? You were just speaking about making it more value add in some sense for small businesses, but how differently are they using technology? And maybe as the co-chair of NASSCOM, you can also bring in that that perspective and talk about how different it is for them.
Yeah, I think things are changing very rapidly for them as well, right? Technology is becoming more and more affordable, more and more ubiquitous, thanks to digital. And there are lots of online platforms and offerings more suited for small and medium businesses, are very intuitive. Yeah. There is not a whole lot of training required. I do agree with you that they also need some training to really help themselves with how to use technology to run their business effectively or grow their business. And now no business is a local business anymore, given the reach that they have through technology, right? And then cloud and stuff like that. So therefore it's useful for them to know what technology technology could mean to grow their business. And we see a number of, they are not, interestingly enough, a lot of those businesses, even in rural areas now, they're not really waiting for big companies like us to go and make the offering available to them. And the startup ecosystem itself is really disruptive and finding ways to build solutions. There is a lot more tools becoming available for small and medium businesses. And it's not the same. And I'm from I'm the co-chair of a NASSCOM, what we call GCC Council. And I think there's a number of efforts NASSCOM is also taking to see how we can create more awareness in the market for how businesses can take advantage of digital as well.
Okay, you're saying digital, so let me pick up on that. Digital, of course, is the buzzword now. Everyone is talking AI, they're talking VR, they're talking cloud, SaaS, etc. How much of this is crucial for small businesses to use in their companies? And when we're talking startups, we're not just talking tech focused or tech-led startups. We're also talking of those who are in other industries like the manufacturing industry. Just how much of that is crucial for them? From your own experience, how much of that do they understand of this, new age emerging technology?
So first of all, let's understand what really is digital. Yeah. Business is digital or not is determined by 4 or 5 criteria. Is the business always on and available? Is the business able to predict its opportunity? Is it innovating with agility? Are they, customizing their experience to individual customers? What about trust and transparency? If a business has all of this, then you can call that business as digital, right? And when you look at the characteristics of being digital, and it's not confined to only large businesses. It's business of all sizes as well. And if you think about it, with the innovation and startups that we see in the market, I think small businesses are also, thanks to democratization of technologies towards digital, they do have those kind of tools available as well. It's no longer just large businesses that were able to afford these kind of modern technologies. Thanks to a cloud-based offering from all kinds of players like Amazon, Google, and also some of our partners that use our technology to build those kind of services. The kind of startups that I'm talking about, they have those kind of technologies available to small businesses, including manufacturing. One of the companies that I was talking to, they are rice mill, the equipment manufactured for rice mills as a manufacturing company. They are thinking about how to IoT enable their equipments or machines that they sell to rice mill owners for them to monitor online what's happening, the outages, making service available, collect data for them to use the data to innovate, make a better offering. And a small manufacturing, it's not a huge business, it's a small manufacturing business. They are thinking about IoT very actively.
Okay, so when you're talking digital for small businesses, on one hand, of course, larger businesses, we're given to understand, know the need and feel the importance of having digital and being a digital business. On the other hand, small businesses don't have the kind of legacy infrastructure in place, which makes it easier for them to be more agile. On which side of this argument are you?
I do agree with that argument. For example, being digital is not very easy for large businesses because there is so much of legacy. It takes years of transformation, and it is not easy, particularly the incumbent technologies are so deeply entrenched within the company, and they are so used to using them. And there is also a big cultural shift from a point of view of transforming employees to be more digital savvy, all of that. And and technology that has been deployed for 10 years, 15 years, is not so easy to move away from into the digital world, newer kind of cloud-based architecture, newer kind of applications that are more cloud native. It's a huge transformational headache for them. Okay. Whereas a small business that has not invested in any of those things can take advantage of a lot of the offering available from the startups and the big companies like the cloud-based companies towards for small and medium businesses. They can start off the ground without any legacy. And I agree with the school of thought that it's easier for small businesses to be more digital. And it's changing lives. People are getting. We think on one side it probably is not easy for small business or individuals to use technology, but no, they are learning faster.
Okay, I'm going to take a very quick break on that note, but we will continue talking about technology for you, the MSME entrepreneur, on the other side. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight we're talking all things technology for you, the MSME entrepreneur, in a special conversation with Dell-EMC. Training of employees, and this is something that you, being a part of NASSCOM, are of course familiar with. The study that states that only 20% of all students coming out of colleges today are employable for the roles for which they're being taught. In a scenario like that, companies, of course, and I'm sure companies like yourself, are training your employees in-house that you're hiring. I want to talk about training, and then I'll come to reskilling and upskilling. So as part of training, for a small business that is still struggling to meet X, Y, and Z challenges when it comes to their fixed costs, training costs is something that it will happily do without. What then is the solution when you're not finding the right kind of talent? Particularly, we're talking AI, we're talking next-gen technologies. What do you do?
So, like everything business is becoming digital, and the training companies are becoming digital as well. There is so much online training available today on any given topic. And it's not, from school curriculum all the way to specialized topics like AI, blockchain, whatever. There is so much content available online. And, the training also is becoming democratized, and the affordability towards the training is also becoming, more. It's becoming more affordable and becoming more ubiquitous. You go to YouTube. There is, you will find a number of lessons on any given topic, and there are lots of other resources available as well. There are companies, there are startups that are online oriented, web-oriented training companies that we see a lot here with smart classes and web-oriented training, and they are growing faster as well. There is a number of options available for small and medium businesses. The training when it comes to large enterprises is really, it's mostly not necessarily the technology, it's more the cultural shift that has been the challenge.
Okay.
Not the technology or something like that. And also the other challenge with large companies is given the deeply entrenched legacy systems, transforming from there to more modern, technologies. That's been the biggest challenge in addition to training.
Okay, so you would suggest then look at online tools, look at online, companies that are coming up with these courses and training material. That's one of the things that
Absolutely,
they can do. I want to talk innovation. How does a large company like yourself look at innovation? How do you approach innovation? What should be the mindset or the thinking for entrepreneurs when they're looking at innovation, and also encouraging their own employees to think like innovators?
Kind of things that we do in our company is that innovation for the sake of innovation is of no use. So innovation, towards solving a customer pain or a problem, and that's the one that is sustainable, right? You can make business with it, we can make more profit with it, and you can deliver better service to your customer, and that's how we orient our employees towards innovation. And to do that, what we do is it's important they get the right platform. So we expose our R&D engineers, product developers to customer problems. How we do that? We have in our R&D center in Bangalore, for example, we've created a customer briefing center. We host about 500 customers and partners every year in our center there in Bangalore, and that gives them exposure, our employees the exposure to what the customer feel about our technology, what kind of problems they are looking to solve with our products or somebody else's product, and what is it we can do, use that knowledge, what is it we can do to use that knowledge to bring out better solutions or products. That's the foundation on which we drive our innovation. And a couple of things, enabling platform we created, of course, a lot of training we provide on everything modern when it comes to technology. But also we have an internal platform called Crossroads. Anybody that has a problem can publish it on the platform, and get others, invite others to kind of join them to solve that problem. It's kind of internal crowdsourcing, if you will. So that's how we keep the innovation culture going. It's not one-time activity. It has to be all around the year.
You also, function, if I can call it that, as a mentor for startups. My question to you is, what perhaps are the top 2 or 3 most common challenges or mistakes you're seeing startups making? And if you can use our show to talk to startups who are watching this show, watching this interview, to say, this is what you should be doing.
The primary thing that I see the startup missing is they all have great ideas, right? Great solutions. But how to take it to the market is, a big challenge for them. How to, not only the go-to-market approach to their offerings, but also how to value their offering, how to price it appropriately based on the customer segment that they are serving. And it's to do with lack of experience, if you will. And that's where I do believe, at a personal level, people like me, folks that have learned all that through their corporate life, should step out and make their experience available to startup. That's the only primary motivation I had to engage with startup, to coach them, mentor them, and help them with my knowledge that I gained over the years. Most of the startups, as you know, are younger, young population, and they need that support. Powerful idea alone is not enough. They need that execution capability, and the right ideas to approaches to go to market. The background that we all have in terms of developing products or developing solutions, selling over the long period of time, use that background to help them price their wares appropriately and be successful. So those are the areas that I help startups with. And techies, they know enough to build technology. That's not where they need help. But yeah, in some areas, as they scale their business, they need how to build scalable products. They need that help. But what the most important help they need is go to market.
Okay. Speaking of innovation, we have a lot of government programs, Startup India, Make in India, etc., trying to encourage more innovation, if I can call it that, happening out of the country. But I want to get your thoughts on that. Are you happy with what you're seeing here?
I do. There's a lot happening in the country. Just to give you some data point around around the innovation happening here, there are lots of multinational R&D centers here. But we don't really talk about the kind of innovation that is happening here through those centers. And so therefore our brand image, if you will, it's still a service-led image.
Sure.
Given the history of 25, 30 years of service industry that we built, which is great. But I think we need to reorient our image to from service-led to innovation-led ecosystem. And there are tons of low-hanging fruits here for us to get that brand going. And we have thousands of R&D centers from multinationals here. They are doing amazing work, but they don't talk about it. That story doesn't come out. You got to create the right regulatory framework and encourage them to talk about the kind of innovation that the multinationals are doing. And just to give you a data point, there are about per year there are about 3,500, give or take 5-10% of patents that are getting filed from India in USPTO. And if you look at who is filing those patents, 98% of them, 99% are from the R&D centers of multinational companies. That story is not coming out. And also, if you look at the number of patents that are getting filed in India, again, 98% of them are again filed by multinationals, but not the multinationals that are filing patents from here into the USPTO, but these are filed by the consumer companies that have interest in Indian market to protect their IP, like the LGs, Sonys, and Samsungs of the world. They file. But it's not that those innovations are happening here. That's to protect their market, right? And they have interest in selling in India, therefore they file. So if we can look at some ways to, at a regulatory level, to make it easier to talk about those stories, I think we already have enough going on to project our image as innovation economy or innovation-led ecosystem here.
So let me then close this interview by asking you if there's one piece of advice that you have for the entrepreneurs, for the startups watching this program, which you think perhaps is going to help them, which you think perhaps is going to change the way that they do their business, what would you want to leave them with?
Fail fast and pivot faster.
Sarv, thanks very much for your time with us here tonight. That was a very special conversation with Dell, talking about technology and also about mentorship and innovation for startups. If you have any queries, any feedback for us, here's how you can get in touch. leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com is our email ID. Tweet at me with your comments personally on Sunanda_J or LOT_ET now, which is our official Twitter handle. You can also leave your comments on our Facebook page, Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good night.